share with you the data that shows the impact of using these services. And of course, we also want to provide you with some tips to help you to encourage your students to use these resources. So first, we'll talk about where to access the Writing Center. The Writing Center, there's a tab right there in every single Canvas classroom. So it's really easy to access these supports. So when you do click on that Writing Center tab, it'll open up onto this page, and you'll see all of our supports are there. That where it says live tutoring free, that's where students can access our paper review as well as our 24/7 chat. Where it says Grammarly, that's where students can get information on how to set up a Grammarly account and how to use Grammarly. And then there's also, it's a little bit hidden, but there's a little hyperlink there where it says Writing Center, and that's how you can get to our brand new website, actually. And we are working on redesigning this page so it's even more user-friendly and everything. And for example, so our website is more visible. So paper review is the first item I'm going to share with you. Paper review is a great resource for our students. Students can upload a draft of their paper and have it reviewed by a writing expert. Within 24 hours, they'll receive feedback on their writing, and they'll see what we call a revision letter. And that's a prioritized list of areas where they can revise and improve their writing. We focus on just a few areas so as not to overwhelm the student. So we may just give just 3 or 4 areas where they might revise, and we focus on the most impactful areas. Throughout the paper, they'll also get these margin comments, more specific details, or pointing them to where in their paper they can actually implement those suggestions for revision. And then the 24/7 live chat. This is a really popular service that we have. It's in real time, and students can come in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So whenever they're working on their assignment, right when they need it. So weekends are included in that, holidays are included in that. And what you'll see here is this is actually what the student sees. So there's the little chat box where students can type in their question. There's also the whiteboard where students can upload something. For example, here we've got a references list so that the student and the writing expert can work on what needs to be edited there. And then if students would prefer an audio chat, they can do that as well. As long as they have a microphone, they can utilize that as well. And Christy, you want to talk about Grammarly?
I would love to talk about Grammarly. Thank you, Millie. So thank you everyone for joining us. So if you're not aware of this, all students at Ashford, as well as faculty and staff members, you all have free access to premium version of Grammarly. And so this is a tool that writers can use to get instant feedback on spelling, grammar, punctuation, all those sentence level errors that we often miss when we proofread and revise. And so we love this tool because it just doesn't point out errors. It doesn't just fix things. Instead, writers have to review the feedback, just like you see here on the screen, to actually learn about the suggested fix. And so the more this tool is used as part of the writing process, the more the writer can avoid some of those common writing errors and issues and really grow and develop as a writer. I'd also like to point out that this tool can be used a bunch of different ways, actually. It can be used through the Grammarly's website, or it can be installed as an app right within Microsoft Word, as well as Chrome and Outlook. So it can be used within the Canvas discussion boards if you have it as an app in Chrome, and it can be used for emails if you have it as an app in Outlook. So again, this is free to all of our students, but also all faculty and staff members as well. And next, we're going to talk about our brand new website, which we are incredibly excited about. So this is a website that can be accessed from anywhere on any of your devices. This is something that you can use on your mobile device, your tablet, or your computer. It's very user-friendly. And you definitely want to go ahead and bookmark it to make sure it's easy for you to get to all those great resources that you need for yourselves and also to share with your students. So let's look at some of the features here of the website. Billy, can you move forward one slide, please? Thank you. So you notice here on the top, we have 5 major tabs on the top of the website, and these are going to expand to show you some of the commonly used resources. So what you see here on the screen is clicking on one of those tabs opens up to a bunch of different resources. So for example, under the About Us tab, you're going to find a section on student services. So in that area, you can find step-by-step guides to help students use the services that we've talked about. So paper review, chat, and Grammarly. We have step-by-step instructions on our website for those. We also have a tab on faculty services under About Us, and that covers all the different ways that we can support you as faculty. We also have many resources on APA style. We know you get a lot of questions about APA style. So we have a lot of examples for in-text citations, the reference lists, the overall formatting. We have an APA template students can use on the website. And then we have sample papers under the types of writing, and also some tutorials and quizzes under tools, and also some other fun recordings that we've started. But not all of our resources are going to be in those tabs. So if you're looking for something and you're kind of struggling to find it and you can't find it in those tabs, you'll want to use the search feature. We like this feature a lot. We think it's a huge time saver for everyone who's busy. So if you click on that magnifying glass that you see the purple arrow pointing to, that's going to open up the yellow bar, and then you can type in anything that you want to look for on the website. So in this example, we've searched for passive voice, and you can instantly, or you can see there that we've instantly found a resource that's going to help with that writing issue. So use that search feature, tell your students about it. It's a great time saver to quickly find what you're looking for. So next we're going to move into, I think, probably what most folks are most interested about in this presentation, and that's going to be our data. We all love data. And we've been interested in knowing, you know, how are these services actually supporting our students? We want to know that we're making a difference, and so we do have data. Before we sort of dive into it, we want to clarify that you're going to see 3 different groups in our data. You're going to see our user group, our non-user group, and then you're going to see a non-user group, and it's going to have a little arrow beside it. That group is our like group, and that's comprised of learners that are matched to the user group by GPA and prior credits earned, and who did not use the service that we're talking about. So this data that you see on the screen right now, this is our Grammarly data. And the overall takeaway with our Grammarly data is that the Grammarly users had significantly better pass, fail, and drop rates than those in the non-user group, and also that like non-user group. So Grammarly is a tool that's helping students to complete their courses rather than failing them or walking away. And we're always focused on helping students, just like you are, to continue in the courses. And so this is one of those tools that the data is showing us is helping them to persist in their course. So let's move on to some of our tutoring data. We're going to look first at the 24/7 chat data. So we see lots of colors on here. So again, you see those 3 different groups that we just mentioned. And what you see here is that students using our 24/7 chat service are more likely to pass their course. And so you see those green bars, that's our pass rates. So you see users have an 86% pass rate compared to a 72% pass rate for the non-users and that like non-user group. And what I find most interesting as we look at the data is the fail and drop rates. You see here that users are far less likely to drop their course. We see only a 5% drop rate for those students using the chat data, which I think is really something that stands out to me. You'll also see on the right-hand side that users are earning higher grades. So if you're interested in the impact on grades, you see a blue bar, an orange bar, and a sort of pink colored bar. Those are the points earned in the course. So we do see higher points in the course as well. And if you're not already impressed with the Grammarly data and the 24/7 chat data here, I think you're going to be really surprised and happy with what you see with our paper review data, which you see here on the screen, if you just want to let the difference in those green bars sink in a second. But what you see here is that users have a 94% pass rate for their courses compared to only 65% for that like non-user group that we talked about earlier. And what I find most encouraging here is that students using paper review only have a 1% drop rate. So overall, what we see happening is that students using our services are more likely to pass their course. They're far less likely to drop their course. and they're earning higher grades. And so again, on this sheet, you see the, oh, Millie, you went too fast. you see the difference there in the grades earned as well. The blue bar being our users, compared to that like user group, the pink bar, you see a 3.09 points in the course versus a 2.55. So it's pretty compelling data that we're getting, that these services are making a difference for our students. Students that are using these services are persisting. They're continuing in the course, which I think is sort of the biggest takeaway that's really powerful to me. All of this contributes to a better outcome for our students, and it really helps to support retention, which we know is a big issue. And that's what we want to see happening. We want to see our students continuing. We want to see them succeeding. And everything about our data is telling us that our services are helping to do that. So I've been talking for quite a while, so I'm going to pass things to Millie. She's going to talk about data from our website and how we're using that to make some decisions.
Yeah, thanks, Christy. We also look at data for our website, like Christy just mentioned. We pull Google Analytics reports, and we look at those reports every month just to see, you know, what pages are being utilized the most, which pages are being utilized the least, and that helps to inform us of what's popular, and we try to make some decisions on what's going on with that. Another thing that we do is we have a survey that's on our website. It's actually right there on our homepage of our website, and I would encourage you guys to respond to that survey as well. You know, we don't want to just hear from students, we want to hear from faculty as well. So just example of some of the responses that we've gotten just in the last couple of months here. The first one here, making their research more doable. That's great. Another one, everything I need to know is all in one place. That's perfect. That's exactly what we're trying to do. So that was really nice to get that feedback. Step-by-step process to help get their assignments done correctly. Wonderful. So it gives us some, okay, we're on the right track a little bit. The one at the bottom there, it says the website's too reduced from our old website, that for APA style, there weren't enough examples. So this was really an interesting one, because we know that there are actually more resources and more examples on our new website. So this was something that we had to really sort of think about and try to figure out what was going on, you know, with this student. So, well, we thought maybe, you know, the website isn't as easy to use. Maybe they don't know that there's that search bar that Christy went over. So, you know, we take some time to try to analyze some of these and come to some conclusions on what we're seeing here, and that helps us to determine, you know, maybe we need to place things in different locations on our website so that they're more visible. One thing that we did from this response was we made a quick little video on how to use our website that included, you know, that search feature and sort of where things can be found on our website to try to help students out with that. So, you know, the point that we're trying to make here is that we look at all of this data and to try to help make some decisions, certainly about our website, and then the data that we're getting from the live chat, Grammarly, and the paper review, that helps us to determine, okay, we are on the right track. We're doing what we need to do, and hopefully from you seeing it, it'll help you to know that, okay, if I do suggest these Writing Center supports, it isn't a waste of time for my students, and it is going to help them. But what we want is to make sure that more students are utilizing these supports, because we do know that it's still only a percentage of students that are using these, and some students that do need to use these supports aren't necessarily. So we want to, of course, encourage you to send your students to the Writing Center, and you can feel good about doing that, knowing that we are in fact providing some assistance to help them with their grades and help them to stay. And Christy, you want to talk about some tips that for getting students that they can give, the faculty can give to students for getting them to come?
Sure. Thanks, Millie. So yeah, as Millie said, you know, we have this data telling us that our services make a difference, that our students are getting higher grades and they're staying in their courses and they're successful. But we really rely on our faculty and our advisors to really help us get students connected to our services. We really do rely on you referring them to us and connecting them to our website and different services. So we put together just some tips we wanted to share. The first one is to use our faculty referral process. So when you submit a faculty referral, we send out messaging directly to the student. We invite them to submit an assignment for review. And so the hope is that us directly contacting them is enough push to get them to follow up and use the service. If you haven't used that before, it's just a simple Qualtrics survey that you fill out, and then it directly comes to us and we go ahead and outreach to the student. Another option you have is that you can share a link to our services with students. So on our website, I mentioned before, we have a page dedicated just to student services. And students, when they go to that site, can learn about everything we talked about today, all of the services, but also how to use them. So a lot of faculty sometimes will leave a note saying, you know, you should use the Writing Center or you should check out the Writing Center. But sharing that specific link with students can really help them see how to actually use our services, and it gives them those step-by-step instructions. So hopefully they will follow through and use them. The third tip we have is that you can use our faculty services. Oh, Millie, you went too fast. Sorry. So we've made that's okay. We've made a prepaid announcement that you can post in your course, and that will advertise our services to your students for you. We can also support faculty in the course revision and development process as well. So we can help you to link directly to key materials within the course. So students have those resources and links really right at the point of need, right within the assignment prompt where they need it most. We can also work with you to create resources we might not currently have. So, you know, including us in that development process is really crucial in supporting students with writing. So we have just a couple more tips. We move forward. So our next one is to actually require the use of the Writing Center services. So if you're developing a course, we can actually work with you to require students to use the Writing Center as part of an assignment. So for example, you could require students to submit a draft of their paper to us before they actually submit it for final submission. You could have them submit to get feedback and then have a discussion post about what that experience was like and how they can implement feedback. So whatever option you want to go with, we can help you to get that set up and help you put together language for the course and all of those things. Lastly, we encourage you to include a writing focused mini lesson every week in the course. So for example, if you see students struggling with a thesis statement, for instance, that's something we get questions about all the time. You can actually post an announcement about thesis statements right within your course. And in those lessons, go ahead and link to our resources. We have a guide on thesis statements on our website. We also started putting together a new video series called Write On with Christy and Millie. We like the title a lot. And so those are just really short conversations. We use Zoom so students can see us chatting with them. And we just talk about a major writing topic, so thesis statements or overquoting, for instance. And they're only 3 to 6 minutes long, so they're nice and short. But the point is, you can save yourself some time, use what we've already created, and go ahead and post them in your announcements as mini lessons for students. And hopefully, you know, that will connect them to some great resources and save you some time as well. So that's all of the content that we have for today. You know, please feel free to reach out to us anytime with questions about our services. Remember, you do have a dedicated liaison to help you with locating resources, to collaborate with resources on, or just, you know, whenever you have a question related to writing or APA style. So our contact information is listed here. It's also on our website, and I just want to say thank you for joining us today, and I think we have just a few minutes for questions.
And you know, if you haven't been to our new website, it's only been out for a couple of months. We're really proud of it because we think it is so much more user friendly, and we have been able to add so many more resources. So check it out and take that survey. You know, we're always looking for suggestions from students or from faculty. So, you know, email us if you have any suggestions or if you feel like something is missing that we can add. If you want to collaborate with us on anything, we love doing that. We do that a lot. So, you know, take advantage of us.
Yes. We're always happy to help in any way that we can. So like Millie said, if there's something that you think we need for students that we just, you know, is missing somewhere, please shoot us an email and we will get to work and fill that gap.
Yeah, I think that what a lot of faculty don't realize is that we support students, but we're also here to support faculty as well. And that includes creating, learning materials for classes or for specific assignments. So, you know, if you have an assignment that's in your class that you feel like students really struggle with and you feel like maybe something can be created to help them write that assignment, that's one thing that we do as well. So, you know, any question you have, any, you know, in your wildest dreams, like what could the Writing Center do for me? Let us know what you're looking at and what issues you feel like your students are facing, and we can try to determine, you know, how we might help with that.